Thursday is turning out to be a damn fine night for television. What with Loki, check out my latest video here in case you missed it, and now Scavengers Reign. Max dropped another 3 episodes this last Thursday, and oh boy, were these a doozy. If you haven't checked out my review of the first 3 episodes, go ahead and check it out when you've got the time. Otherwise, expect spoilers for the next 3 episodes to follow. But first, I wanted to take a moment and just appreciate the incredible music of the show. It wasn't something I touched on in my first reaction video, mainly because I have more of a bias toward visuals and narrative storytelling over audio and music. That's not to say that it's bad, it's just that I focus more on visuals. But as the saying goes, if you don't notice it, then it's doing its job. Major exception goes to the show's opening title segment. That really stood out to me the first time I saw it. Yet, especially with these last few episodes, the music really cranks it up to an 11, not just in volume, but in storytelling quality. Just listen to a few moments from this week's batch of episodes.
I have an idea.
Really, just spectacular. Nicholas Snyder is the composer and looks to be a longtime collaborator of Joseph Bennett, one of the creators of the show. Keep an ear out for more of his work in the next few weeks if you can. And if you want to follow along with me as we do general appreciation for the artistry of the show, how about dropping a like? And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I promise not to feed you black goo. Unless you're into it. Anyway, these last 3 episodes really ramp up the survival horror elements for the series. I love that we all too briefly got to sit with a new survivor for the Demeter and witness his harrowing experience trying to survive on Vesta, escaping every damn threat to him until he runs into, well, the biggest threat on the planet, Cayman. If you're all caught up by now, you know Cayman has been trapped in a bit of a symbiosis with a likely sentient being who is feeding him happy hallucinations as well as shameful memories of his past relationship with Fiona and his former crew, so as to motivate him to kill other creatures in order to feed his black goo peddler. By the way, what should we call this guy? Given his recent girth, I was going to make an overly complicated reference by calling him Ezra, but that takes way too long to explain, so for now I'll just call him Chonkers. If you got a better name for it, then drop it in the comments below, and the one with the most votes is what I'll refer to him moving forward. Also, is Cayman a bad dude, or is he just going through a prolonged rough patch? I really disliked him at first, but that stance is softening up ever so slightly the more we see of him. The real highlight of the show for me, though, has been Ozzy and Levi's journey together. I loved Ozzy finally finding a non-hostile species to help her out with the rash with the chomper fish, and Levi's dreams and burgeoning sentience has been some of the show's most beautiful portions. So then, what an absolute gut punch that was! Once it was revealed that Levi has the same voice as Fiona, Cayman's old wife and partner, and that Chonkers has to do what Chonker does and ruins everything. Levi's fate is extra brutal knowing that she could feel all of it. I mean, it actually hurts to say that out loud. For a while I was waiting for the other shoe to drop with Levi's sentience, given how nearly everything in Vesta is a hostile creature, but once pairing it beautifully with the fish hammers home the idea that the fungus inside Levi wasn't necessarily evil, nor is necessarily anything else on the planet except for maybe Chonkers. So instead it was providing something truly beautiful and unique to her existence. The flowers at the end further drives home that notion that she had a soul. Well, at least for me anyway. What a great show. How many more survivors do we think are out there? I counted 6 escape housing pods from one side of the Demeter, and we know a bunch already blew up in the atmosphere or crash landed as soon as they got there. I was sort of hoping that Cayman's visions brought on by Chonkers were going to be sort of revealed as like a hallucination, especially the circumstances that led to the Demeter getting hit by the solar flare, but Sam sort of confirmed it separately with Ursula, and Chonkers also confirms this when it went looking to kill Levi because of her association to Fiona. It shows Chonkers is using real memories to shame Cayman into submission. And maybe my brain is a little too deep in with Loki, but is that survivor we saw at the end of episode 6 an older version of Ursula, or just another marooned human? Let the speculation begin! And I love how Sam's zombie clone has an old man fungus beard, and its skin is the same color as all of his clothes. Adaptation at its most horrific.